And it's because of that man, Jalen Adams, who has got his game going in the last couple of weeks, and a little more incentive tonight for the former MVP of this league. He goes up against his former team, the Sydney Kings. The Brisbane Bullets playing host to the Kings. Saturday night hoops at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. I'm Jack Heverin, Damon Lowry and Andrew Gaze alongside me. Great to see both of you. Drewy, big night for Xavier Cooks, who is well down tonight on confidence.
Well, when you speak to him before the game, he always seems very chirpy, and I think that's an encouraging sign. It doesn't look like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, but I think Damon's comments are absolutely spot on. Somewhere in your system, try to find a way to get him more involved. No, that doesn't mean he has to score it every time, but just get him some touches, make him a distributor, and he is elite at putting it to the floor and getting to the rim. Just find a way to get him more touches.
100%. One thing about Xavier Cooks is nothing's changed about the way he approaches the game. He's going to still play hard defense. He's still going to rebound, all those little things. And as far as those free throws go, nobody cares. It's not that big of a deal. Because Drury, even in his MVP year, he only shot sub 60%, so that's no big deal. Like I said, he just has to feel involved in the offense.
So it's a deal. It's maybe not a big deal, but it's a deal.
How big of a deal are we talking?
It's one that you've got to get on top of. It's 26%, and I think what it does to him, though, he becomes a little tentative about getting to the rim because he doesn't want to get to the free throw line. So I think you're right to say, well, don't care if you're getting 10. Oh, well, we've got to work on it. You're getting 10 free throws, but it's certainly something that he's got to get better at.
The Brisbane Bullets coming off a big win on Thursday night. They smashed the Cairns Taipans, who in a weird and wonderful world beat the Tasmania Jack Jumpers early this afternoon. So if you can try and figure this league out, you're doing better than the three of us. Ariana Prather courtside for us tonight. Speak about dominant seasons. What about the season that Ariana Prather is having? Good to have you.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. And you guys know I love a good X Factor. And my X Factor for the Bullets is Tane Murray. He has been absolutely confident since he's been getting the start for the Bullets. He was huge in their win Thursday night. He had 17, 18 points. And if he gets going and he plays with the confidence that we saw, I think the sky is the limit for him.
It's great to see as well. They've got a couple of youngsters, the Brisbane Bullets, who are taking their opportunities. Tane Murray, definitely one of them. We'll talk more about Tristan Divas across the night as well. The Brisbane Bullets in a big game tonight here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Starting fives are in, and it's a bit of a different look for the Brisbane Bullets as well. They've been mixing up their lineups. They'll see their new recruit, Dakota Matthias, come off the bench again. How does that lineup grab you?
That five has been playing good basketball together, so I'm not going to change it. Even though Jalen Adams will probably play starters minutes, which he should, and Dakota Matthias will definitely come on and get some major run as well. I like the fact they're starting something that they're comfortable with.
Sydney Kings, Drewy, we mentioned that their backs are against the wall a little bit now. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Here's their starting 5 for tonight.
And it's a nice starting 5. They've got good balance, and if the backcourt can just be a little bit more productive, particularly from the three-point line to create those lanes for Xavier Cooks. Tim Suarez is having a great season from the three-point line, and Bill Quall is the other one. He's playing a big chunk of minutes, but only 3 points a game, shooting it not as well as he needs to. So he needs to give it a bit of a lift, but he's elite on the defensive end.
So what is going through the mind of Jalen Adams tonight? He's up against his former team. There was some suggestions that perhaps the parting of ways wasn't totally all harmonious. Yeah. Amicable would be another word as well. Can you almost try too hard when you're coming up against your former team? For the
100% you can, but I feel like Jalen's got that kind of personality. He's a very laid back. I don't know him at all, but he seems to be very laid back. You get him in interviews, he's very casual in his nature. But the fire in his belly, though, Drury, especially when he comes up against another elite point guard. Now you got Kendrick Davis out there on the other side. I'm expecting Jalen to come out full guns blazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it'll be long before he hits the floor. He's averaging 29 minutes a game. So, like you said, he will play starter minutes. But the other thing is, what's the psychological damage of giving up what seemingly was an unlosable game?
Yes.
An unlosable game against the Jack Jumpers. They lose it in heartbreaking fashion. And sure, it can galvanise, like Brian Goorjian said, but it's also sometimes hard to erase. And the first quarter, I think, is going to go a long way to see where they're at.
They've had 6 days to marinate on it. They were 16 points up against the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. They played 32 really good minutes, and then for whatever reason, Damon, in winning time, they just unravel.
Yeah, just like, you can say bonehead plays if you want, but it's just sloppy turnovers. And once you lose the momentum, anything can happen. But it's been a long time to sort that out. Now they're back, and Brisbane is coming in here in front of this home crowd. They're trying to make something happen in the River City. So you got to forget what happened against Tasmania.
They couldn't score in that last quarter. Just could not score, got nervous, tried to defend the lead, and it all went south.
James Gregool, Nico Fernandez, Hugh Starkey, the three men in charge. Saturday night hoops, round 7 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Sydney Kings have won 10 of their last 11 encounters against the Bullets. They look to keep that trend going tonight. Here's Dellavedova at the top of the key. Qual almost comes undone. Sydney have to go to plan B off the opening possession. A little floater from Dellavedova goes.
Well, that was just straight out of DeAndre Lamana's playbook. That's a play that they were running in Rio with one of the most efficient offenses we've seen, which Andrew Bogut thrived in. So perhaps that he might be having a little influence on the offensive end.
Here's a turnover and an early touch for Xavier Cooks, who gets downhill. And it goes big for the confidence of that man.
And the good defensive end first, Xavier Cooks came over. They got Tyrell a post touch, double team to force a turnover. And then Xavier Cooks in transition is always a beautiful thing to see.
It is almost the perfect possession for Xavier Cooks. Ball in hand, putting it to the floor. A nice start for the Kings in the opening minute. Divas deep on the three ball, shooting at 31% for the season, the youngster. He's got his hands full defensively with Kendrick Davis. That pass intercepted. Qual got after it. Kings reset, 7 on the clock. That'll be a foul for a reach.
As it passed a high-low action when they're hard showing, it was the absolute right call, but threw it down to the legs. Xavier Cooks, he can play above the rim. It's one you need to go high. Suarez needed to go over the defense rather than trying to go under it.
4-0 start, Sydney. Davis has Suarez. Gets in deep and draws an early foul on Harrison. So the statement of intent early from Sydney is good.
I like that action off the ball, Drew, where you get a pin down for Kendrick Davis, and Tristan Davis got his work cut out for him, but they switched the ball screen and unselfishly kicked it out to Suarez, who attacked the closeout. This is some good offensive execution by the Kings.
14 of 18 from the line this season, the Brazilian.
Yeah, I like the way Sydney have started. They've seemed a little anxious in some of their early games where it's just dribble, 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 penetrate. But the first 3 possessions here have come from structured, well-balanced, floor really spread plays. And they're getting rewards for it. We know that they're an elite defensive team, always going to be with Brian Goorjian at the helm. It's can they find a way to be a bit more consistent on the offensive end.
6-0 start. The Bullets go down low to Tyrell Harrison. And why not? He's been so dominant. And Qual picks up an early foul.
And Tyrell is waiting to see if that double team is going to come straight away. I like to see him, Drew, maybe get a deeper post catch. But nevertheless, he's going to be a problem if he's single, if he only has the one defender on him.
So Bullets from the baseline. Prather got Dellavedova up in the air. Not an easy thing to do, and so smooth with it.
Wow. Shot fake, jab. Shot fake, jab. Good pass. No. Good pass. Thought it was going to be a dunk. Sorry, Jack. I got excited when I saw Bull coming out of that corner.
A quick response from the Kings. Prather again gets away from Dellavedova. This time, a little floater. He has all of their points.
If that's the way Suarez, if he's going to play that deep, that type of shot's going to be on. Delly can't knock down the 3-ball. Almost feel like he's going further and further across his body on his jump shot.
Harrison rolls to the basket and scores from underneath. The Bullets have started to settle now. Back within 2.
Nice pick and roll. Good pass by Tristan Davis. Getting Tyrell involved early. And you're right, Drewy. Delhi came into the game shooting 14%, but that shot looked a little bit funky.
Harrison sent that one back. Davis, the 20-year-old Nunawading Junior, has found his way into this starting lineup and is making a significant contribution. That pass a little too hot, though, for Prather. Kings fly down the court at the other end. The athleticism from Xavier Cooks.
Good decision by Bull Call. He saw he had Xavier running on that right wing. Just waited for him to get there, so Xavier didn't have to dribble it.
4 points early. Prather assesses his options. 8 on the clock. Murray dribbled himself into trouble. As Jalen Galloway comes to the scorer's table. The depth of this Sydney Kings lineup. Davis allows the shot clock to go to single figures. Delivered over the extra for Cooks. He's made a really promising start to this game.
Come on, Zave! Sweetest of sweet teardrops on the baseline. Good ball movement by the Kings. As Casey Prather, Drewy, the white boy says you got to find him in transition.
Yeah, he was wide open. He's shown it off the bounce and way too open.
Oh, wow. Just like that. Davis slices his way through. His first points of the night. Brian Gorgon called the Brisbane Bullets an offensive juggernaut pre-game. Sydney are doing a pretty good job of putting points on the board themselves.
I'm not sure juggernaut is the right action.
Watch out!
Cooks down the lane. Timeout Brisbane. Xavier Cooks with a statement in the first quarter. He's got 8 points.
And he's done it on a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. As we look at the Amy replay, this is twice. Now they've found him in transition, just running the floor, playing with a lot of energy, just out hustling. Harrison Head swiveling all over the joint. Couldn't find him. Two-hand stuff.
16-9 lead early for the Sydney Kings. We caught up with Tim Suarez pre-game and spoke about the matchup against one of the best bigs in the competition, Tyrell Harrison.
You have a big matchup tonight going against Tyrell Harrison. What is some of the defensive keys that you have towards him and just the Bullets in general?
Great player, tough around the rim. Just got to make sure that we're physical with him, make sure that he takes tough shots, and obviously he's going to make a couple, but we're going to be ready for him for sure.
I really like what Tim Suarez brought to the team. A couple of years ago when he was here, Drewy, when they won that championship, he was very, he did both. He scored from the inside, he rebounded. His numbers are actually better this year than they were the year they won it.
He is, and he shoots the ball and stretches the floor, which this Sydney Kings desperately needs. If you're trying to find an area where he can be a little vulnerable, earlier on in the season, Sydney was switching a lot, and for him to keep some of those smaller guys in front of you, anyone who's penetrating, his lateral movement hasn't been great, but offensively more than makes up for it.
Ariana Prather, you were listening to Stu Lash.
That's right, I was listening into the Bullets huddle, and Mitch Norton took over the huddle for the first few minutes and told his team, this is not who we are, this is not what we practice, and this is not what is going to get it done today. Coach Lash came in and said it's all about finding our man and getting those early matchups established. They're taking way too long to find a body.
Why is Xavier Cooks? He's got 4 for 4, and I know you have your set rotations. I would have thought that would have been the perfect time to perhaps, well, let's just change our rotations a little bit for this first quarter.
Yeah, I don't understand it myself.
Davis downhill.
Sure, he's only going to be off for a couple of minutes.
But it's a momentum thing,
That's
though,
right.
Drew. That's what we're saying. It's a timeout call. Xavier comes over to the bench. He's flexing. Everything's all right in the world. And then he comes out and he sits on the bench.
It's the old saying, there's a run sheet's a run sheet until something better comes along.
I mean, come on. Anyway.
18-11, Sydney lead. Xavier Cooks sitting down at the moment with 8 points on a perfect 4 of 4. The Kings have had the better so far. Here is Dakota Matthias, turns the corner. He's got a reputation as a shooter, and that looked nice.
And the action from one side to the other and the pace at which they were able to do it created that scoring opportunity. Jack Purchase seeing some first quarter minutes for the Bullets.
Different looking lineup out there for Brisbane. Adams has that one rattle out. First field goal attempt against his former team. Davis cutting and weaving and scoring with one to come.
KD in transition is an absolute nightmare. Caught Jalen Adams just unawares, not as focused as he needs to be.
See, right here, he opens up. They were coming for the on-ball screen. I think you're better off on those circumstances. Send them to the screen.
Yep.
Send them to the screen and run your rules, whether it's a show, a switch, whatever it may be. But that lane was just opened up. Jack Purchase getting these minutes because let's not forget Towie Smith-Milner, who has been averaging 3 points a game, has been playing a lot, Towie, but these were normally the minutes that he was coming in.
Missing with a finger injury. Still no Mitch Norton or Sam McDaniel for the Brisbane Bullets.
Pick and pop for Tyrell Harrison, and Tyrell just puts the ball on the floor and beats Suarez to the hoop for a nice little floaty. And both teams, both coaches are leaving their big men on the floor, Joey, for extended. This never happens.
Here's Galloway, feet set, knocks it down.
That's automatic for him. That's a layup when he's that open from the three-point line.
Brisbane miss out from underneath.
I don't think this is the pace that the Bullets want to play at, Drew.
Well, they are third in the league in pace of play, so they do like to get up and down. But against the Sydney Kings, they've looked really good in the offensive transition. Already Cook's getting out, and they seem to be on the back foot unless they score. And one thing you can do is try and crash the boards. When you're missing shots, crash the boards, get some O boards, and even if you don't get the O board, you slow down that outlet pass, but they've yet to get an offensive rebound.
They are very ordinary starters, the Brisbane Bullets. They've lost 8 of their last 9 first quarters. They give up 25 points in the opening terms across this season so far.
Well, here we are right on 26 points now, and with 3 minutes to go in the game, I just feel like this pace, yes, you want to run, but now's the time to slow it down. And I want to see which coach flinches first and take their big off the floor.
Murray, Adams, Purchase, Harrison, Dias for Brisbane. Davis, Galloway, Suarez, Noy, and McQuatch-Malawatch. The 5 on the floor for the Sydney Kings. Adams through contact. Whoa. Changed his mind late. Tossed it out of bounds.
He was thinking shot 90% of that way, in the very last minute decided to pass, and it was not good.
27-15. Kendrick Davis has very quickly got to 8 points. The spin can't come up with it. Suarez does.
That just can't happen. That was just way too easy for Suarez. Perhaps assuming that the shot was going to drop.
As Harrison rolls and scores. The Sydney Kings, Damon, have 8 assists on 11 makes.
It ain't a whole bunch of missing going on out there. There's a lot of layups happening. The Suarez tees one up. Cash. Brasilia. How do you say cash in Portuguese?
Whatever it is, it's nothing but net.
Send us a tweet. Let us know what it is. Struggle with the English language, let alone secondary languages beyond that. Adams gets to a nice spot.
Are you telling me that both big men are going to play a full 10-minute quarter? I'm shocked. Now, here they come. Cal Dog checks in from they both come out at the same time. Kings have got 32 points on 70% shooting, Drewy. And I dare say a lot of that is in transition, so the Bullets want to reconsider until maybe they cut this lead down and just slow it down a bit.
Galloway left open. He makes them pay.
Well, this is the perfect response from that heartbreaking loss that they had last Sunday against the Jack Jumpers.
Dakota Matthias with a hand in the face. That's a wild one. And look at Xavier Cooks rip that rebound down. And the Kings fly up the other end.
Bad shot.
Dellavedova this time. Remains just the 2 points to his name. It's an 18-point lead to Sydney, who have come out all guns blazing here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Prather gets to work. No foul call. Galloway with only Matthias ahead. Can't finish that off. Playing his second game, Dakota Matthias. Hand off to Adams. Extra to Dalton, who was monstered. Prather, as always, right place, right time, and he can't finish off. There's some work to be done at quarter time for Brisbane.
35 points and counting in the first.
The home fans here are stunned. Sydney are getting everything they want and a whole lot more offensively. Dellavedova inside for Cooks. It's the Kings who come out and shoot their shot in the opening quarter. 35-17, they lead over the Brisbane Bullets. This is Saturday Night Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. One way to move on from heartbreak is to come out and do what the Sydney Kings did in the opening quarter. 35 points to 17. An offensive blitz from Brian Goorjian's men. Ariana Prather, you were listening to the Brisbane Bullets. They've got a bit of work to do.
That's right. I was actually listening into the Kings huddle to see how they felt about this lead. And, of course, they do not feel comfortable after what happened to them last time. But Brian Goorjian was telling his team, listen, we are controlling the pace by taking our time offensively, running time off the clock, and making them work for as long as possible. And then they have to sprint down on the other side and try to score. Let's see if they can keep it going.
This is a big lead for Sydney.
Way to give it back.
Cook's got it back.
Well, turnovers are a big problem for Brisbane in the first quarter. They had 5 of them. The Sydney Kings had none. And I reckon in all 5 of them led to easy buckets down the other end.
Tyrell Harrison not out there to start the second quarter. Adams on the board.
How good is he when he gets into the key like that? He can just contort his body, get shots off. You know what I like the best about that quarter, Joey, for the Kings is because Tim Suarez played 8 minutes at the 5 spot, Xavier Cooks got to stay in his natural position. Didn't have to worry about being a small ball center.
He's going to have to play some minutes in the centre. It's just the makeup of their team right now.
D from Galloway forces Prather to give it up. Bullets reset. Back up top to Prather. Monstered by 3 Kings. It's been the story of the game so far. And when they get to this end, they are scoring. Galloway.
Charging foul.
6'7", freakish athlete, gets tired, subs out. In comes another one. Bull call checks in for Jalen Galloway. Mallow watches on the floor. And Brian wants to, he's drawing a picture of a square. Let's have a look. He didn't like it.
Oh, he's challenging it.
He sure is.
Ooh.
Tangerine timeout, so we've got a coach's challenge. A reminder that each team has one available. If successful, you keep it. Unsuccessful, it's gone.
Russian roulette, I like to call it, Jack. Especially in the second quarter with a 16-point lead.
Seems an interesting time to challenge and an interesting call to challenge.
With a charge as well. It's always sometimes can be a bang-bang play, can be a little hard to sometimes find something definitive. But it was good help rotation.
From Matthias, yeah.
Yeah, Matthias got there. He saw he was beat. Gets there. He's in the charge circle.
Yeah.
So what happens there?
Well, it's a block.
It is.
Yep.
So this should be a successful challenge.
It's an easy one to challenge. And because I think he was there. I think it was going to be a charge. Just, he got it. Did he?
Well, it does make you wonder. Coach's challenge is successful. We saw on that vision that Brian Goorjian was almost side on to that play. So you wonder whether he had a good look at the circle and decided, let's review that.
Brian was camera 4.
He might have been camera 4, but camera 5, his old mate with the computer behind him, might have just given him a nudge and said, hey, Gorge, he had his foot on the line.
From this point on, one of the greatest coaches of all time will be forever known as camera 4. 35-19. Kings get the ball back. Saturday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Earlier today, the Cairns Taipans winners over Tasmania.
Well, that's a let-off. Matthias was way too late on the rotation. Clearly they're going to hard show, and on the pick and pop, the rotation's got to be there. Suarez is going to make more than he misses when he's that wide open.
2 points for Jalen Adams, 1 of 4 from the field. A drop off inside for Prather. He'll be on the free throw line.
That's the smarts of Jalen Adams. Delhi is playing on the top side of Casey Prather, being very physical with him. Instead of fighting him, Casey just kind of pinned him. Jalen saw it, threw a lob over the top. Now, Drew, I said in the pregame that 17 shots for Tyrell Harrison.
Yep.
4 quarter and a bonus shot. He went 3 of 4 in the first quarter, 75%. They got to find a way to get him 4 more of those.
Casey Prather has had 15 or more in 27 straight games and is the only player in the NBL this season to score in every quarter. I know that's John Casey's favourite stat.
Yeah, that's a Casey stat if we ever saw one. That's incredible. Talk about consistency.
Cooks the handoff for Bull Qual. And Cooks was fighting for position against Alex Dukas. The youngster's been whistled for the foul.
And I like what Dukas has been doing. Like, he probably didn't expect to get these kind of minutes, but due to so many injuries, but he's been playing extremely well as he gets subbed out now for Tane. Tane Murray checks in, but if they run that same action, Xavier Cooks can go to work on either one of those guys.
Dukas sits down with 2 fouls.
Oh, Delhi tried to hit him in the back, Drewy.
Prather glides down the court. Great pass for Matthias. It goes.
Drewy, what's that stroke look like?
It's nice. It's anytime you, what is he, the 3rd all-time three-point shooter at the University of Purdue. I mean, we're not talking about a minor program. massive program. And if you get this wide open in this league, like that is as wide open as you could possibly get. And it's like playing a game of horse, and he is way too good to be that open.
See, now here's where Brian, like, I agree with him. The baseline ref was going to say play on. Nico Fernandez out of position, not his real call, but saw it and called it. And everybody gets annoyed with the guy who didn't call it. The way these days, Jack, I'm just going to be happy I got the call.
This is the adventure for Xavier Cooks from the free throw line. 9 of 34 for the season. He left that first one short. And he's left that one even shorter. Brisbane in early. Matthew Dellavedova gets over to Xavier Cooks. And
he's got another one, though.
Yeah.
What's the burger rule, Drewy?
This is no. If he makes this, I'm sorry, Queensland, you do not get burgers.
That includes us. We're in Queensland.
Well, that's true.
Pay for your own burgers. We ain't feeding you. Xavier Cooks ain't feeding none of you.
I feel robbed. There's no doubt about that.
They sure do. They sure do. The Kings continue this double-figure advantage here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Matthias trying to get a shot away. Great D from Cooks. Even better offense.
That's nice. Xavier did his best not to foul him and just got his back turned to him. Didn't need a lot of time or space to get that shot off.
He was 3 of 10 on Thursday. That shot's looking good. 2 more for Cooks.
When everybody says to get him involved, where can he score from? Right there. One-on-one from the elbow. That was an easy layup. He's an international mismatch.
11 points for Xavier Cooks, 5 of 7. 3 rebounds to go with that too. He's causing all sorts of problems for the Bullets. Prather at the other end is giving Matthew Dellavedova all sorts of problems. He's got 11 of his own.
Fast. Just too quick. Like, you can't be half showing those ball screens of Kendrick. His speed is not normal.
Adams trying to get to work. Drop off for Harrison was good. He misses from underneath. Brian Gorshin wants to have a chat about things in a moment. Blocked Harrison. Sent that one out of there from Dellavedova.
Smart professional foul by Zay.
Brian Gorshin wanted a timeout. He may have waved it off on the basis that they got the stop. See, but right now, if I'm the Bullets, Matthias has just hit 2 threes. Run a play and get him another look. Now, if it's covered, well, what happens after that? But at least give him a look.
Especially with Casey off the floor.
And he's hot. He's just made a couple of threes. He's feeling it. And you know that the Kings' defense is going to be up and in. And if anything, you're a hell of a decoy in these moments.
And as far as technique goes, that is, I mean, his form, Dakota's shooting form, I can see why he blew the doors off of the Purdue three-point shooting record.
It's almost as smooth as that Mitsubishi Outlander. Oh, was that is smooth?
I wouldn't know personally, Jack.
Well, you need to find out, my friend, because it is driving luxury.
Oh.
At a more than affordable price, I might add.
Absolutely. Partners of the NBL. Sydney by 12. Bullets just haven't been able to get any closer than that for quite some time. Murray with the job of trying to stop Kendrick Davis, who puts on all the tricks, and with the finish, how do you stop that?
You gotta hope he missed. They ran that a good action, Drury. The ball got through hands. I like it. It gets back to Kendrick's late shot clock. Now beat Kendrick.
Here comes Davis again, pulling up in transition. Has a look, jumps out. Dellavedova offensive rebound. Suarez crashes the glass. Kings are doing all the little things right.
Speaking of timeouts, the Bullets are looking a tad fatigued, which is not great when you're trailing by 6.
Oh, where? That's just everything.
Bad shot under the circumstances of the game.
Davis for Suarez inside. Foul by Adams, who fouls him on the floor.
They've been going up and down. You can clearly see that the Bullets are fatigued. Harris has got a hands on, and Dukas comes from out of space in a one-pass offense that just gets you running again. Now, I understand he might be feeling he wants to get involved and can't get involved. It was only his first shot, so he's a little anxious. Well, let's recognise and get him a shot through a bit of system.
Yeah, I'm pro system.
Tangerine timeout. It's back out to 16 points, which is almost up around game-high territory for the Sydney Kings. If you have just joined us, they scored the first 6 points of the game, jumped the Bullets, and have had all of the momentum since then. Now, here is Xavier Cooks, MVP in this league. His numbers pretty consistent across the board, except for this year where things have dropped off. But tonight is more like it.
They've dropped off 5 points, and it's due to, again, he's playing with a backcourt that has the ball a lot. I'm not saying either one of those guys are selfish, and Kendrick Davis and Dellavedova. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the makeup, the chemistry of those guys is different. When Xavier Cooks was MVP, he had Jalen Adams. And then when Jalen Adams got hurt, Sean Bruce, and they DJ Vasiljevic, and everybody, there was no real ball-dominant guard. So that's okay. Now they've realized that Xavier Cooks is actually still that good. You can see what they're doing today, Jack. Getting him involved. Xavier's up and about. Now he's sitting looking at a nice little 11 points and 71% from the field. Everything's looking right in the world.
When you look at his field goal percentages, they're really good, 57% from the field. And you look at what he's doing from the free throw line, you add a couple more there. So he really needs probably 3 or 4 more shots per game. Yep. Make another 1.5 on average free throws, and he's back up to that 15 points.
Ariana Prade that was listening into the Bullets in that timeout.
That's right. Coach Lass was just telling his team to take a deep breath, stay calm. They've been in this position before, and that they will be okay. To be honest, I was expecting a little bit more fire out of him because I think the defense has just been atrocious, guys.
Oh,
Atrocious.
Ariana just never tells you what she really feels.
Well, I think she's right. I don't know whether atrocious. There have been some possessions where it's been good, but they're getting all out of whack because of the defensive transition. They're on the back foot a lot of the times.
Dukas had his pass intercepted. Kawatnoi into the open court. It does a lap and jumps out.
Now that, okay. Alex Dukas obviously can shoot the ball, he can score. They run that Spanish action, Drew. Tyrell Harrison gets the back pick, gets in the key, turns and seals, and they don't go into it. So Dukas ends up taking a tough shot and actually turns the ball over, and it leads to this.
Yeah, Dukas shouldn't be in a situation where he's got to take that Hail Mary early on in the offense because he hasn't had a shot. And credit a lot of that to the defense for sure, but some of it, it's just because there's not the recognition that he hasn't had a shot, and we're not prioritizing where we need to be on the offensive end.
This is a very, very concerning half of basketball from Brisbane. It took some good momentum into tonight, had a big win on Thursday against Cairns. Sydney have been all over them offensively and defensively. Here's a prime example. Prather couldn't get his shot away. Nice take by Tristan Davis.
Tough finish. Sydney making it work for everything. You realize how big Tristan Davis is once he gets into the key.
Galloway rips to the basket. And one.
They just cannot get a stop. And the combination of not being able to get a stop and burping it up 6 times has not been productive for the Brisbane Bullets there. It's a team that averages 91 a game, and with 3.5 minutes before halftime, they've only got 30.
Well, we've seen enough low-scoring games to last me for a little while, so I wouldn't mind seeing somebody score 100. And Jack, is it fair to say that the home teams, and Do teams prefer to play on the road?
Not so sure. I don't know. Brisbane's record here is not a good one. They've lost 6 of their last 7 here at the Entertainment Centre. Tasmania lose today.
It's a great pass, Jalen Adams. It's hard to throw that out of bounds when your guy's 7'1", but this is the end you talk about, Drury. Can they get a stop? Can they string something together?
Sydney have already got 50 points on the board, and we're still 3 minutes away from half-time.
They got it at 58%, 43% from the three-point line.
I have no doubt that he's between him and the basket. Yes. So the question is he left the chance to play? It's between him and the basket.
Tyler, you'll be in the backcourt. Push.
You can see Kendrick Davis motion to Jalen Galloway as if to say, you know, that's not the kind of shot we want. Everybody seems to be locked in on offensive execution and how they want to play, Drury. They got to get the ball through hands, run their stuff. No hero ball unless it's, you know, in particular like a transition type situation.
Well, that's what I had on the wall, what I thought he'd have on the whiteboard as well. Just and in timeouts, you hear Stu Lash and he's preaching. Get it from side to side.
Lucas for 3.
And that's a good look, a really good find. Okay, you miss it, but that's a wide open 3 for a good shooter.
Brisbane over the limit. That foul on Prather is his second. So 2 for Adams, Dukas, Prather, and also Tane Murray. We've seen Bull Qual to shoot some free throws, 75% from this position across the season.
The crowd already feels ripped off when Xavier Cooks teasing him with burgers.
We're just waiting.
I don't think this Bull Qual's going to be in a given mood neither, Drury.
Just checking Kendrick Davis foul situation, I believe. It had 2 on the board here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. 1 in front of us. So we've had that confirmed.
75% shooter this season on very little attempts. Hasn't been there all that often.
He handles both, pushes that lead back to 20 for the Sydney Kings. Galloway guarding Jalen Adams. Former teammates, Adams levitates, hangs in the air for a while. Got it back second time around. It drops in.
It's uncanny, his body control. When he gets into the key like that, he just goes in slow motion. Never see that shot get blocked.
It's this end of the floor that Andrew Gaze has been talking about. Every time Sydney come down, ball's in the bottom of the net. That time, Davis long. Smart knock on from Prather. Dukas lays it up. Back-to-back buckets for Brisbane. That's enough for Brian Goorjian to call his men in and have a chat about things with 2:07 to play in the half.
Just these last couple of minutes, you got to know how to finish off a quarter. Brian see a little bit of slippage. Let's come over here and talk about it.
We are celebrating Indigenous round here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. So many of the jerseys look unbelievable. If you love them, then you should jump on that website, scan that QR code, and choose your favorite 1 or 2 or 3, or could be a good Christmas gift.
My favorite one is the one the Brisbane Bullets, that yellow one they had. That got the gold medal for me.
The Phoenix in that lime green number was quite fetching as well, Damon. I'm not sure that the world needs fashion advice from either of us, so just go online and choose the one you like.
Yeah, it's a good time out here by Brian Goorjian. I think it's good on the basis we saw it when they had that nice lead against the Jack Jumpers, how quickly it all can turn around. And he's still 16 points up, 2 minutes to play, but he wants to go in with a 16-point lead. He doesn't want, I would limp our way in and 9 points up. And it's game on, because Brisbane have shown they can stick around. It's not like they're shooting it poorly. just the turnovers hurt him. 6 turnovers. But they're 50% from the field.
You know, Brian's on high alert after what happened against Tasmania, so 16-point lead does not get you excited as it used to.
14 points for Kendrick Davis. Game's leading scorer.
Make that 14.
Interception from Prather.
Coming out of a timeout. Nothing irritates you more as a coach where you can't even execute the first pass in what you were trying to draw, what you would have drawn up.
Brisbane just ratcheting up their defensive pressure a little. Prather got another hand on it. It was last touched by Adams.
This will be KD's sub. Where Delhi's coming in for. Now he's just bringing him in for JG, just to have 2 guards on the floor to put that, probably KD off the ball.
Yeah, another ball carrier. Just had a couple of turnovers.
8 seconds left on the shot clock. Cooks with 5. Davis and Noy against the shot clock.
Checked his feet real quick. Good penetration kick by KD. Kawhi did the rest.
Pressure relieving bucket for Sydney. Cooks picks up a foul at the other end. Casey Prather will be on the line.
Okay, 2 shots, guys. Here you go, guys. Shots here, 2 shots.
So this good extra pass right here. Kawhi quickly checks his feet. Defensive transition, like you just, as good as you feel about making a bucket, you just cannot admire your own work for more than a split second, because this man at the free throw line is extremely dangerous in transition, as is most of the guys in the league.
If he continues on this form, all NBL first team has to be in the conversation. He was all NBL second team last year. His numbers, his contribution to this Brisbane team has defied everyone.
It has.
He's put on a good first half performance here. Needs some teammates to go with him. Harrison reaching in or pick up his second.
Just left his feet. Didn't need to. He bit on the head fake by Noy.
2 guys.
That's the poise of Kawhi Noy as a scorer. Will catch and shoot with a lightning kind of a release, will attack the rim hard and dunk on you, but then when he gets in traffic, doesn't take bad shots, just knows how to take his time and get the defense off balance.
Cooks out, Malawat's back in. 2 fouls for Xavier Cooks, so Brian Goorjian erring on the side of caution with one of his stars.
And shortening his rotation a little bit as well.
Can't score off the drive. Harrison helps it in. Is that a change from the start of the season, Drew, the way that Sydney are shortening things?
Sure. And just tighten the rotations up a little bit.
Davis through the middle, finds a wide open Kawhi Noy. He's successful. Oh, Harrison with the ball handling duties. One end to the other, got it to Dukas, it drops.
This is exactly what Brian Goorjian didn't want to happen to finish this half. Great job by Terrell Harrison. He's showing aggressive on these ball screens, Drew, even though KD split him. They've ratcheted up the D.
Shot clock and game clock almost in unison. Kendrick Davis misses a layup. Still plenty of time available for Brisbane. Prather for Adams. Some momentum for the Brisbane Bullets to take into halftime. Sydney led by as much as 20. Brisbane get it back to 12 at the main break.
That's what they do, and it was a let-off for Davis. I thought Davis went a little early on that last drive. Got a wide open look, should have made it. He gave the Bullets a good scoring opportunity.
57-45. Sydney have led all night long, but now they've got a little bit to talk about at halftime as well. Let's get over to Ariana.
Kendrick, what an amazing offensive performance from you during that first half. But all around as a team, you guys have put up 57 points in the first half. How do you keep that going in the second?
Trying to get stops. They had 17 in the first quarter. They just scored 44. So we didn't get stops in the second quarter, and they got back in it. So we got to make it hard on them, man. Prather, J.A., we got to make it hard on them.
What's the key from the offense during that first half that you want to see keep going in the second?
Man, if we could just get stops and get out, that's like the key to success. Harder said than done, but we got to try to limit, your man to his looks, and we'll do a good job of winning it.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's the Sydney Kings who lead at halftime, 57-45. It's been a fascinating day already here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We'll have a chat about all of that and talk about what's coming up tomorrow on the other side of this.
Some talents are born, others are built. Alex Tui isn't just a baller, he's a competitor, a leader, a kid from Canberra who chose to stay in Australia and back himself, his game, and his roots. He was born with athleticism, built his game on grit, and always stayed true to the process. Luckily for Alex, his preparation met the opportunity when it mattered most, and now he's an NBA player.
The Golden State Warriors selected Alex Tui.
Let's take a look at Alex Tui's path to the NBA with the Golden State Warriors, thanks to Amy.
Was there any one person or message in particular after you've been drafted that really stood out to you? Maybe not message, just I think just like the Warriors guys have been super supportive and saying like, hey man, summer leagues, it's a cool time to get a feel of the NBA, but it's not make or break. Like you've got plenty of time to get better, and however I'm playing, as long as you get better each day, you're gonna have a role somewhere. So it's been a long time coming, but glad to be somewhere and be at such a great organization like the Warriors. I'm very lucky to have such a great family to support me, and we've got a nice circle of people that have my best interests at heart. So now it's just being present, enjoy everything, and take whatever comes my way.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Welcome to the first half breakdown. I'm Ariana Prather, Damon Lowry, Andrew Gaze, the greats. I'm sitting with what a first half. It was looking ugly for the Brisbane Bullets, but they were able to cut it down to 12. Look at these numbers, guys.
You look at this halftime stats right here. The biggest thing that jumps out to me is the 3 turnovers by the Sydney Kings. Their half-court offense, transition offense has been so efficient that it's also led them get to the free throw line, Joey, 15 times.
Yeah, and the scoring was a big factor for the Sydney Kings, particularly in the first quarter where they had 35. Now, Brisbane certainly statistically brought that right back and got themselves back in the game late in the quarter with a couple of stops, some sloppy turnovers by the Sydney Kings, and they were able to get out and get some transition buckets. And turnovers have really hurt the Brisbane Bullets. Not so much on the volume of them, but sometimes the turnovers, you put yourself in really tough defensive positions like that, and it leads to that pace of play, which makes it really hard on your defense. And sure, 57.5 of basketball is way too many, but there were some positive signs for the Bullets in that second quarter.
Absolutely. Coach Gorgian has been telling his team during almost every time out, we control the pace, and this man is not happy even when they were up by almost 20 points.
The forgotten man to a degree. 11 points on 5 of 7 shooting. A lot's been said about Xavier Cooks and his confidence. There is nothing wrong with this man's confidence. He's never going to lose belief in himself. He just lost himself within the offense. But now that I can see that making a concerted effort to involve him in pick and rolls, find him in transition where he does his best work.
8 of those 11 came in the first 4 minutes. He came out of the blocks firing, and then now that the Brisbane makes some adjustments, but he needs to get that going, and gee, he looks a whole lot better when he can get out in the open floor, and he runs at such a gazelle up and down. The pace at which he can play at is elite, so Sydney Kings would want to see a whole lot more of that.
Well, I'm excited because on Sunday we have the Southeast Melbourne versus Perth game, and we have Illawarra coming in trying to steal a win that they desperately need.
Yeah, the Phoenix, that Nathan Sobey has been spectacular. Can he keep it going? The Wildcats coming off a huge road win over the Jack Jumpers. And this season, the Wildcats have, and like you were saying, these teams seem to do better on the road than they do at home.
Adelaide 36 in the Hawks. Can the Hawks come back and respond? Can Adelaide score 125 points? We'll find out.
Mitsubishi Motors Australia is celebrating an important milestone. In almost half a century down under, Mitsubishi Motors has been around the block a few times and still going strong. We would like to thank the hundreds of thousands of our current and previous owners for supporting our brand. Mitsubishi Motors is proud to continue to drive basketball in Australia as we celebrate 45 years in Australia.
Half-time at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Xavier Cooks and the Sydney Kings have turned up and are playing with a purpose tonight. 57-45. They lead over the Brisbane Bullets. They have won 10 of their last 11 games in this matchup, the Sydney Kings versus Brisbane. And at the moment, that trend continues. But Drewy, Casey Prather doing everything that he can to keep the Bullets in this game, has 15 points on 6 of 8.
And as we've commented a lot, in your 6 of 8, perhaps you need to be seeing the ball a little bit more because he's been super efficient both inside and outside, causing some problems off the bounce. And he's been solid, missed a couple of free throws, so no cookies. Remember when you miss a couple of free throws, I wouldn't have thought. But he needs that and some more, but some really encouraging signs at the end of that first half for the Brisbane Bullets.
Can't help but wonder, Damon, whether Jalen Adams is the key to this whole thing. If Brisbane are going to fight back and take this one all the way to the end, Jalen Adams has 4 points on 2 of 9.
Yeah, he needs to get more involved, so obviously I think he's going to start this third quarter. Maybe. Yep, he's going to be out there. So, yeah, he definitely needs to get involved. Jalen Adams in the pick-and-roll game, I've always felt was one of the most elite guards we had in the league. And that's how he gets himself going. And I feel like they're down 12. They almost kind of like being in this kind of spot. They're comfortable here.
Well, they might be comfortable, but I don't know if they like being in this spot.
Well, the numbers would suggest that they're happy to chase. They've won 7 of 10 third quarters and 7 of 10 fourth quarters. They're like that horse that just sits back until the final 300 and then mows them down. A little Pride of Jenny style today. Restart the third, Dellavedova. Davis, Cooks, Suarez, Qualt out there for Sydney. Xavier Cooks shakes his head and says, no one's stopping me.
And a call sorry, Damon, but that's clearly a call play. Get some action for Xavier, and that's what he's good at.
Here's your dilemma with Xavier Cooks. So you sag off of him because you think he can't shoot. He eats up the space and gets into your body and gets on the rim.
Yeah, it gives him a running start. It makes him harder to guard off the bounce.
There's Jalen Adams trying to get himself going. 3 of 10. It was plus 17 against Cairns on Thursday night. 20 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Extra pass. Davis gave it up for Qual. He's deep. Nice hustle, Dellavedova. Davis can't score. Cooks on the glass. Qual on the glass.
Yeah, layup. Qual had a layup, and he's just lacking confidence right now, Bull Qual, because he just had to go back and put it back in.
Somebody come help Tyrell.
Offensive boards 5 and 6 for the night for Sydney. Foul will be on Alex Dukas, his third.
That was probably the best outcome except for Dukas' third foul because there was mismatches everywhere. And Zay missing it.
This. You just turn around and lay it up. He decides to dribble it out.
I feel like that might be a cupcake on overtime this week.
That's just, I think that's just a sign of the confidence, and that's way too easy. Davis able to just slice and dice.
16 points for Kendrick Davis. The battle of the point guards has been a fascinating one. Jalen Adams with more points in this third term.
Once again, when he gets into the key, the efficiency goes through the roof.
And without harping on it, they can't get back inside single figures. Brisbane, the last time that it was a single-figure game was when the score was 24-15.
Yes, because they can't string enough consistent stops together. I mean, look, City Kings got a high-octane offensive team. Everybody out there on the floor can hurt you one way or the other. You need to work out who you're going to take. Who are you going to take out of the game?
So coach's challenge. Brisbane Bullets want to have a look at this.
Okay.
On the foul. 61-49. Brian Gorshin's already had a look at a coach's challenge tonight, which was successful. So Sydney still have theirs available. Here's a look at the action.
No, that camera's not. I need the other one.
Oh, it didn't look like there was much here. This might give us a better idea. Comes in. Now, who was the foul called on?
It looked like Casey.
Was it on Casey? Because
Casey reaches
in, but does he make contact? Oh, yeah, it looks like he made contact on there, but a little hard to tell. But you saw Bull Quall's arm just move a little. Watch this right-hand swipe there.
Yeah, that's a foul. A foul that I would want.
Now, that doesn't look as prominent from that angle, though, so that's what makes it tough, but no, unsuccessful.
Yep. The call on the floor stands. Stu Lash having it explained to him by James Grigol. So, we're being told that vision not conclusive enough.
There was no conclusive footage, so we say, go! Here we go, two shots.
It wasn't, I agree with that, it wasn't clear.
There's lots of footage out there, but we want the conclusive one.
Maybe we should have gone the camera forward. AKA Brian Gorshin.
What's Bull shooting from the free throw line?
75. Oh, so you go ahead, Joe, please. No, well, this season he's 75% from the field, but like I said, he's only averaging like one a game.
75% is nothing to sneeze at.
Bullets 4 and 6 coming into tonight. Ironically, 3 of their 4 wins have been on the road this season. Swing to Prather. He's so smooth.
Yeah. I don't agree. I agree with double teaming Tyrell, but not on the catch. Let him put on the ball on the floor first. He can see it coming. They just made the extra pass and got Casey Prather to a closeout as Bull Quall misses one and then doesn't get back on D. What it cost him?
Dakota Matthias drew a closeout. That's his reputation. He explores and he scores. Points are good. Now they're back inside single figures.
And
they think it's a foul. It's play on. Take the ball out.
No, the official was going to call a goaltend, but it actually went in. That's why the game stopped for a second. Touching of the net. This is a nervous moment right now in the context of what happened last Sunday. There's some similar signs of ability, and that's a good way to go around it. Clearly had the mismatch. Fine Cooks that close to the basket. Good execution by the Kings.
This is the beauty of running the ball screen that does not involve Tim Suarez, because if you switch on Xavier Cooks, and Dakota, then 2 or 3, Jack.
Foot on the line.
Yeah.
It counts as 2. Brisbane within 9 again. They've made a good run in this third quarter. Still a long way to go in the game. Suarez for Quall. He turns the corner. He's having trouble scoring. 1 of 4 for the night. Prather.
Jab.
Got it! Casey Prather brings the Brisbane Entertainment Centre to its feet. They make a big move and they're back within 6.
Well, they've just completely taken away any transition offense by the Sydney Kings. Early on in the game was free-flowing. If we look at the aiming replay, and they've been able to make them pay at this end of the floor. It's a lot harder to get your running game going when you've got to take the ball out of the net. And the Brisbane Bullets this quarter are getting it going. And a good timeout by Brian Gordon just to try and reevaluate what they're doing on the defensive end in particular.
They've watched a 14-point lead evaporate the Sydney Kings. Let's take a listen inside their timeout.
Push him up and get under that one. Now that switch.
Hey, give me 1 more minute. I was about to sub you, but you got it going, all right?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we got to finish this game, okay? Both of you guys, all right? Be quick. Come on, it's on the defensive end. Let's go, let's go. We need the 3, 1, 2, 3.
The king of the shot fake jab, 3 ball, shot fake, 1 dribble pull up. Every fundamental offensive move you can think of, this man possesses it. 20 points on 80% shooting.
Ariana, you were listening to Brian Gordon.
That's right. I like his approach to his huddles. He takes a moment and lets the players talk amongst themselves before he jumps in. And Matthew Dellavedova was telling his team, we're just not playing smart and we're not going to let this happen to us again. Coach Gordon jumped in and said, let's play defense right now. That's my only concern, is that we need to lock up.
Yeah, they certainly have been able to get some stops, and some nervous moments here on the offense as well has compounded their problems. And again, we see the set rotation. Cooks coming out of the game midway through the quarter at a real crucial time.
We heard Stu Lash stay in the timeout for Brisbane. 1 more minute for Casey Prather, and then he's coming out. Doesn't get a look at things that time.
I would strongly deny that. I would argue that to my last breath. Casey need to ride this out.
Dellavedova walks into a 3. That's well off. Offensive rebound and score by Qual.
You don't lose anything, though, so Qual comes in for Zave at that 4 spot. Long as Tim Suarez, Jury, stays at the 5, Brian can rotate through the 4 spot with 2 legitimate 4 men.
68-58. Adams finds the roller, and Harrison misses out.
Rushed it. Needed to get some better balance before he shot it.
Delly inside, gave it up. Qual for Suarez, tucked away in the corner. Nice couple of minutes here for the Kings.
Great ball movement. Delly attacked the closeout, got into the key, created all types of hell. Good extra pass.
This has been a really strong response out of that timeout. Brisbane got it back to 6. Pace has quickened, and that suits Sydney. And in particular, it suits Kendrick Davis. Falling away, little jumper rims out. Suarez underneath. How quickly the game can change. From 6 down to 15 down in the blink of an eye.
Just like that. Stu Lash was like, we gotta have a chat. There's things going on out there offensively, Drury. Like, you gotta switch. Do you have to switch everything? They're getting into closeout situations, and everybody's getting beat off the dribble.
I think Brian Gordon's just changed the sub. He had Galloway, I think, coming in for Suarez, and I think they just might have made the quick change, and boy, this is going to be a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix taking on the Perth Wildcats. Phoenix have come out of the blocks. Well, they had to ride a bit of a couple of bumps early on in the season, but Nathan Sobey has been in MVP-type form, and I'm not just talking about for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, I'm talking about for the entire league. So that's how good he has been.
No, that's fair. Sobey's playing some good basketball. They let the New Orleans Pelicans off the hook, Jack, when they came to town, but other than that, Phoenix has been playing some overall good basketball.
The Perth Wildcats are a bit of a hard team to work out at the moment. I think their fans are starting to get a little frustrated.
Yeah, we need to see what David Dukes Jr. is going to provide. Hopefully he gets some heavy minutes. From all reports, a big guard, defensive-minded guard that can score the ball, but it's all about can you gel with your teammates, so time will tell.
And I was wrong about that sub. They did actually take Suarez out, despite the 3 ball and the putback.
So now it's the Bullets who need to respond with a timeout of their own. That is not going to help their cause. Turnover. Cooks down the lane. Look out!
Like somebody shot him out of a cannon, Jack. The way Xavier Cooks gets out in transition.
Dukas went up. Tried to block it, but instead, welcome to your Instagram moment.
Your IG moment, Drew.
That's it. Needs to be Kodak. Like, we've got to get up to date with
that IG moment of you in the jocks a couple of weeks ago with those skinny little chicken legs of yours.
The step one, Jason Cadee, our co-commentator.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. The undies are just very nice.
Oh, the undies were fantastic. The model, not so much. 16 becomes an 18-point lead for Sydney. Much more comfortable for them. Matthias trying to get his shot away as he falls into the corner.
Now, I don't want to say any crazy comparisons, Drew.
Yeah.
But I'm watching the way Matthias shoots this ball wearing number 31. Reggie Miller.
Oh, gee.
That's all. I'm just saying.
Don't do that.
No, I'm sorry about that. But they got to run some plays for him because he is their version. He is their version.
Oh, we're seeing it. We're seeing it here. What he's capable of doing. He's wide open in the corner. Bottom of your screen.
Prather staying in the game. That soft touch. Works again. Casey Prather has 22 on 9 of 11 shooting.
One dribble, turn around, Jay like Kobe.
Any other NBA comparisons you got for us?
Give me a couple minutes.
We've got a Dennis Rodman out there.
Matthias, I'll go Rodney Clark type.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And let the record show, Jack, Xavier Cooks is out there right now as the 5-man. I don't have a problem with it because Cal Dalton is the 5-man for Brisbane. No issue. Mismatch favor the Kings in this one. That's no disrespect to Cal Dalton, of course.
No, it's a good matchup for Xavier Cooks.
Here is Reggie Miller.
I'm trying to tell you, he's the Reggie Miller of Brisbane. Run some more plays for him, Drewy.
Getting it going when he needed it most. Got it back to 6, pushed it back out to 16, and now a little charge.
That hurts them, though. They break down defensively. Bull Quoll cashes in. Their advantage is 14. 79-65. The Kings on a short turnaround. Adams long. They'll play Monday night against Melbourne United at John Cain Arena.
Cup Eve, I got to show up for that one.
Yeah. That is going to be, and always is, a massive game between the two. Brisbane get their money's worth on the foul.
I think it was a sacrificial foul. They knew it was Xavier Cooks, and he's asking for an upgrade. He wanted it unsportsmanlike. And there's no doubt the intent was just to put him to the line. Don't give him anything cheap around the bucket.
Play the percentages. And Cal Dalton, I mean, no, he doesn't foul soft.
There's nothing unsportsmanlike about it. That was a legitimate attempt on the ball.
It's been a much more positive night. Look at the way he shoots that free throw. This time last week, he didn't want to shoot from there. Tonight, he's 3 of 4. He's got 19 points on 8 of 11. He's got 4 rebounds. And for a lot of the game, Damon, he's looked like the most dominant player out there.
It's because his team got him involved early. We all know basketball is a rhythm game. Xavier just couldn't get a rhythm going, but the credit to his teammates.
Much more like the sort of performance we've come to expect from an MVP of this league. Matthias has a fumble.
But that was the right idea. Now, they need to create a little bit more space, but if Bull Quoll's going to do that, a chronic overplay, that back cut's going to lead to wide open layups. Just got to try and remove the weak side help a bit further out.
Drew, any chance that Dakota can come off something for a shooter, like a staggered double or something? Yeah, got Terrell with a handful of jersey. Like, I don't back Dakota to one-on-one off the bounce on Bull Quall. But if Bull Quall's got to chase through a couple of staggered picks, now maybe advantage Dakota.
The Burgers is still up for grabs.
See how he's falling as he shoots it? It's falling. It's like he's willing it to go in, and he takes a couple of steps in. He's got to get into the habit, just going straight up, straight down. Feet don't move. Feet don't move until that ball hits the rim, like that. Now that was better, although he missed.
Guess what we're having tonight?
Nice cheese.
Code word is streak.
Tell them Zave sent you, but I'm going to boycott mine, Jack.
That's right, I'll eat yours. Galloway with a steal.
Don't jump.
Time for some fun.
Ooh, yes. That was a bit of anger in that one.
I would love for a dunk contest. If we can get an all-star game in a dunk contest, Drewy.
We've got to get one. Kings by 18. All of Brisbane's momentum, all of their positivity has been snuffed out by Sydney. Cooks glides down the court. Now Davis from the handoff, buries it.
Great action.
Yeah, it was. Rest in case he praised him for that minute and a half. Was it worth it?
Game high, 21-point lead now.
They got it back to 6, 4 minutes ago. It's just been a tear on both ends of the floor. Stops leading to easy transition baskets. And also hitting shots.
Arrested Casey Prather will probably start the fourth quarter, but in that minute and a half or two that you took him out, the lead blew out.
Tyrell Harrison continues his good form this season. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 13 points for the evening. Leaves that second one on the line. And gives the Kings one last opportunity to score in this quarter. It was a turn that didn't start that well for them, but it's going to finish with a full head of steam. Qual, yes! Wow. Sydney by 23 points at three-quarter time. They are all smiles tonight, and the sins of last Sunday have been forgotten. 89-66, they lead at three-quarter time. Galloway with the exclamation point. Sydney set the game up with 35 points in the opening quarter. They follow it up in term number 3 with another 32. And this is a handsome 23-point advantage that they enjoy at three-quarter time, 89-66. Xavier Cooks has been superb.
Xavier Cooks has been superb, his best game of the season. But I think you see the benefit of how the Sydney Kings can be so much better when Bull Quoll plays to this level. He's been great on the boards. He's knocking down threes. We know he's an elite defender. And he's back to that type of form he was playing when he was in Paris with South Sudan.
He sure was. Dellavedova, speaking of the Olympics, with the steal. Prather got a piece of that. Dellavedova can't score. Brisbane desperately needs stops, and they desperately need buckets from this guy. Ariana Prather, you were listening in at three-quarter time.
Once again, Jalen Adams in transition, shooting right leg, right hand shots with ease as the Brazilian puts one right between Tyrell Harrison's eyes.
This is Daniel Kickett Mark II. Maybe a little taller, but he's got a lot of similarities and that ability to knock down the three and stretch the floor.
Sydney shooting it at a much better three-point percentage this evening. They're up around the 40% for the season. They're 33%. Suarez had a little rush of blood.
I feel like this is the best version of the Kings offense. Nobody needs to go for 30. The way they punishing mismatches, having the Tim Suarez play big minutes as Casey gets a midi, no good. This is the best version of him, Drewy.
Yeah, 9 of 22 from the three-point line. That helps. Three-point line shooting so important.
Galloway has time to fire. There's that one off the front of the rim. Prather, wide open look. Doesn't get the friendly roll. And they're going to need to be at their best, Damon, the Sydney Kings, because Melbourne United on Monday at home is a monumental challenge for anyone right now.
Is it ever? Is it ever? Melbourne United have shown that they can almost lose, but they haven't obviously lost one just yet. You need your A game, and I feel you need to be able to rack up some points.
Well, the biggest test in the NBL right now is Melbourne United. They really haven't put a foot wrong so far to start this season. Just a couple of concerning signs for the Brisbane Bullets, albeit that this is a tough one. This is a gargantuan lead right now for the Sydney Kings, but it's the way in which you play these moments. In the last couple of possessions, it's been one out.
Yeah,
I'm going to do my thing, and the intent of the individual is outstanding. I want to help my team, but making sure it's done within the team concepts, not just one-on-one, one out, try and jack it up. That's not going to get it done.
And that's what happens when you run a ball screen the first possession. Like, if that's the first start of the action, it's going to get terminal. The Sydney Kings have moved the ball from side to side, got it through hands, and then they get into some screening action. It's a whole different dynamic.
Brisbane's next assignment is Saturday. They'll go to Tasmania to take on the Jack Jumpers. Which, again, is not an easy thing to do. Tasmania at MyState Bank Arena is a difficult task. It was a difficult look from Matthias.
It doesn't seem that difficult that you're playing in Launceston, though, for some reason.
No. Pass, Noy for Cooks. 22 for the evening.
Great penetration by Quad Noy. Playmaking. But the Kings are still treating this 28-point lead like it's only 8.
Well, that's what happens when you've just given up a 16-point lead and burped up all over yourself the previous game. You're going to be nervous until the final moment.
Nice enough from Casey Prather. Still trying his hardest to keep the Bullets in the hunt. What a fine Dellavedova. Nice hands, Adams. Cooks with the answer, though. Timeout, Brisbane. Things are not getting any better for the home team. 28 points is the Kings lead. Tangerine timeout. 6:43 to go.
Matthew Dellavedova in a pick and roll. Without looking to score, but just manipulating the defense. He's made several passes where he's waited for the defense to help, waited for them to tag the roll, and then hits it in the corner or something like that. He knows how to find players in that situation. He's not worried about scoring himself. This is the best version of himself, I feel, in this team.
They've shared the scoring around. Xavier Cooks has 24, Kendrick Davis 19, Tim Suarez 19. 13 points for Jalen Galloway and Bull Qual for Brisbane. Casey Prather, their leading scorer with 24. Dakota Mathias has 16 in his second game with the Bullets. Tyrell Harrison 13 to go with 7 boards. Jalen Adams 10 points. But for Brisbane, unfortunately, they are going to come up well short tonight against a well-oiled Sydney Kings team. (98-70) here on Saturday Night Hoops. The Sydney Kings in control. Andrew Gaze, Jack Heverin, and the other guy, which is what our security guard said when we turned up today.
Oh, mate, come on.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, Jack, and the other guy.
I'm copping it from everywhere.
Not sure she's aware of your free throw heroics, Damon.
So that's the perfect example of what I was talking about. That is a no-pass offense and a highly contested shot.
Kings continue to swing this ball. 25 assists on 35 makes. Dellavedova travels.
Even though they turned the ball over that possession, their ball screen happened, Drury, after like 5 passes. Defense has to move.
Yeah, spot on. This is the most fluent and consistent we've seen the Sydney Kings offense. And perhaps some of it's got to do with the defense that Brisbane are playing. But you can see the makings of it.
What a battle between Prather and Dellavedova.
Another one is just one out.
It'd be different if the game was close. If it was like a 4 to 5 point game, and then you got individual brilliance can bring you home in in a 5-minute stretch, but not for the course of a game.
6 assists for Dellavedova. Just the 2 points in the game. Shot clock at 4. He can spin and get his own rebound and put it back in. How easy was that?
Yeah, Brisbane's, I think they put the cue in the rack.
Oh, you reckon? That's just...
They left the pool hall.
Wide open, missed one, and then had time on the second one. There was no one desperation trying to get it, and I understand the game's gone, but it's about the standards you want to accept, and you can't accept those types of possessions.
Galloway wide open, got it. 30-point lead.
See, I like this. Brian was going to sub Kendrick Davis back in the game, and then thought, wait a minute, we're up by 60. We don't need you back out there. Sean Bruce gets ready to check in, get his first minutes. Hunter Goodrich checks in as well. Zave and Deli done their job. A comprehensive beatdown.
The biggest lead of the game right now. It's almost the perfect response after what happened last Sunday.
Yep. It was an exorcism at Brisbane's expense.
Tate Murray unloads a 3.
Tate Murray's been shooting the ball extremely well. Like, Drury, how many threes is a big enough sample size? I think he, like 11 of 23 from deep.
Yep.
That's enough, isn't it?
Oh, my word.
He's over 40% from down there.
Oh.
Watch Malawatch.
Rolled ankle.
Yeah.
Came down on a foot. And he's in a bit of trouble. But as I mentioned, this game here, it's just stuck out to me a little bit more. There has been a shortening of the rotation for the Sydney Kings as we take a look.
You look, I'm not.
Just it's more the knees than the ankle.
Yeah, you might be right.
Heading into hyperextension territory.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he's clutching his knee. So let's hope that it's just a nothing too serious, but he is in all sorts of pain.
They've had almost the perfect night, Sydney. Let's have another look at it.
Oh, just a hyperextension. Yeah, not pleasant to look at all. Yeah, that didn't look good.
It's an important part of this jigsaw puzzle too for Sydney, Malawatch.
Yeah, he's definitely in the rotation.
Well, that's one, and you think of who's going to miss out.
I mean, he's getting 12 minutes a quarter. 12 minutes a game. So you can obviously spread that around. Tyler Robertson's going to check in for him. He's spoiled for choice with 6'7" forwards.
Certainly with a game coming up on Monday, that now's the time you want to conserve some bodies.
Hopefully that's just bone bruising. Hopefully, because we have seen way too many injuries in this NBL 26 season.
Kings have already got Kelly LePepe missing for the season with an ACL. Jason Spurgeon also won't be seen at any point in NBL 26. So hopefully from McQuatch Malawatch, he'll get scanned up in the next day, no doubt. And Sean Bruce out on the floor. Hunter Goodrick also out there. Louis Thawan also there. There he is, the youngster. 20 years of age, can't keep that alive.
Brian's got out of this game what he wants with 4 minutes to go. You're just looking for these guys to just not let it slip. And having a veteran out there in Kwatnoy with these younger guys and Sean Bruce, obviously, just to steady the ship, make sure everything stays as is.
With this group here for the Brisbane Bullets, they're looking just for a bit of fight, a bit of spirit.
Smart from Tyler Robertson, drifts into the paint and scores. He's found minutes hard to come by this season.
He had an interrupted end of the NBL 1 season. I think it was an appendicitis, and playing for the Casey Cavaliers in NBL 1 South. Had a good season, but missed the last bit of it. Bolton knocks down a 3. That's something. That Pops didn't do all that regularly.
Shout out to Mark if he's watching. Good for a 1. So he's saying across his 421 games, Brad, I should say that it's not something that
Brad, no, there's Brad. Brad was the ultimate screener. Mark is a little bit more versatile.
Back to back.
Oh, my. It's Uncle Brad, and
yep.
That's Mark. Hang, as we used to call him.
Under Goodrick. As Kwatnoy was screaming for the ball to be set up for him. He was wide open there forever.
What's the mentality like, Drury, when the bench is empty? Forget what the score is. There's one bench unit think, well, we're better than that bench unit.
Well, a lot of these guys here now, it's about opportunity. But this is a really hard time to do it because the game's junky, and it takes a lot of discipline in these moments to maximise your opportunity.
That's a good-looking stroke on the youngster. It didn't fall that time, but I can see that making threes will not be that big of an issue for him in his career.
He's only young. He's got a lot of filling out to do with his body. Built up a good reputation across Sydney since he was a teenager. Gets his chance now at NBL level. Deserves it as well. Here's Sean Bruce. He's always been able to knock him down.
Well, that's the veteran, and not easy to do. For 34 minutes, he's sitting on the sideline. And have a look at the Amy replay. Just Noy, wide open 3-ball.
Sydney have absolutely blown this game apart. Midway through the third quarter, it was a 6-point game.
And all teams want, all coaches want is some level of consistency. So once the Kings have shown Brian this is what they're capable of, to not do it at least 2 games in a row just confuses the hell out of a coach.
And that's the frustrating thing from a coach, is that you lose your excuse when you demonstrate you can do it. So they've demonstrated a couple of times, and for 85% of that game against the Jack Jumpers, they demonstrated it. And just a few moments, such as the lead is so even, you just get off your game and strange things can happen. Murray just steps out of bounds.
That's why when Lisa asked me to do something around the house, I'll stuff it up on the first go so I can keep that excuse.
Smart. It's heads up play.
I'll keep the excuse.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
There's a lesson for everyone at home.
Nice. Just you do the washing, make sure it's not the expensive stuff. It's just a little bit too much bleach, and hey, never asked to do it again.
Stick around after the game, right throughout the post game. Drury and Damon will take relationship advice and answer your questions. Do we have a talkback number or something like that? 1300. 2 minutes to play here. Sydney firmly in control. Some second-generation names out on the floor right now. Great to see surnames of Dalton, Purchase, Bradkey out there for the Brisbane Bullets. Love to see it. Here's Jensen Bradkey, whistle for the foul.
I'll tell you what, that Hunter Goodrich, the screens and the seals that he do, you would know what the score is in the game the way he plays. You like a guy like that.
Exactly. That's what you got to do. He comes in, plays with great energy, good athlete, good ring on him as well. Athletic.
Soon Lash should go back. Sorry, Jack. He'll go back and go, how come we couldn't get to the free throw line? 8 free throw attempts for the game. What does that say?
Says you're not getting there, not getting to the rim enough, not testing the defense enough.
There's Tyler Robinson. His take, can't score. Strong rebound by Bradkey. I feel like we've heard that a few times in the past. Brisbane fans heading for the exits. They're full of optimism coming into tonight. They have been completely outclassed by a Sydney Kings team who have turned up with a point to prove and some demons to exercise.
It's going to be a goal team. I think he's going to miss anyway, but it was the slap of the backboard.
And if NBL26 has taught us anything in this short in the season, if you think Brisbane Bullets' next game is going to be like this, you might be kidding yourself.
Sydney turned that frown upside down. Big comeback win tonight, 116-79 over the Brisbane Bullets. That is now 11 of the last 12 games that the Kings have won over Brisbane. That's a smashing.
Yeah, it was comprehensive. You could see the way they started the game. They were switched on from the very start. Brisbane didn't match the intensity, didn't match the focus, and eventually they paid the price.
And it's not just the win and the comprehensive win, it's the way they went about it. Cooks got on track, they seemed to get better balance in the half court, moving the ball a little bit more and completely dominating on the defensive end, and that ignited their running game and picked up so many cheap baskets, led to 53% from the field and a very healthy 12 of 29 at 41% from the three-point line.
That's a massive win for Sydney. All of their scorers got involved. Xavier Cooks was made a focal point. He was made a priority. Matthew Dellavedova sacrificed a lot of his scoring ambitions to set the table, had 7 assists.
Him and KD combined for 14 assists and only 3 turnovers. Unbelievable guard play.
It's a big win for Sydney, who will go in full of confidence for Monday night. They play Melbourne United at John Cain Arena. Let's get over to Ariana Prather, who's got our footlocker player of the game.
You guys saw that water coming. No one gave me a warning.
Oh, hello.
Xavier, what a great performance tonight. How good was this response for your team after your guys' last game?
Oh, it was much needed. The ball was really popping today. It was fun basketball again. It's been a bit of a grind sometimes this year, but it was good to play together tonight.
6 players in double figures tonight. How great was it to see your guys' chemistry on the floor?
I mean, all year we've had such great practices, and it's not really translating onto the on-court performances. But tonight we finally played the game the right way. The ball was popping, we were sharing, and we enjoy each other's success tonight.
How good was this guy standing right here next to you?
Every night he does his thing. He's such a hard cover. I mean, every team trying to blitz him to get the ball out of his hands. He's an unbelievable basketball player.
How is it to play with Xavier?
Unbelievable. I want everybody to put respect on his name. NBL MVP for a reason, champion. And, you know, great players, when they have bad games, they come back and do what he just did. So put respect on his name.
Put some respect on it. Way to work tonight, guys.
I like it. Thanks again. Thanks, guys.
Xavier Cooks, the Foot Locker player of the game. They ran the opening 2 or 3 possessions of the night. Brisbane made a clear emphasis to get him involved, and he cashed in. It paid dividends. Let's get back to Ariana.
Kawat, what a great game from you tonight. But I want to talk about what we just saw. That chemistry is something that just can't be taught. How fun is it to play with this group of players?
No, it's great, man. We've got talent from top to bottom. Just to keep the ball moving like that and everyone contributing today, it was great to see.
What was the message to the team? The Bullets pulled it in close within 6 points, but you guys remained together. What does that say about this group?
You know, just staying composed under pressure, you know. We're still building this team together, but, you know, we're heading in the right direction.
Great game tonight, Kawat.
Thank you.
Always out there for instant offense, Kawat. Great performance by him. The Sydney Kings come away with an enormous victory, their biggest win of NBL 26 by some margin. They win tonight, 116-79 over the Bullets. We're back to wrap it up on the other side of this. All smiles tonight for the Sydney Kings. They take their season record to 4 wins and 5 losses with their biggest win of the season so far. 116-79 over the Brisbane Bullets here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance by the Brisbane Bullets, particularly in the context that they come into this venue. They come on the road after that very difficult and emotional circumstances. It would have taken a few days and a couple of practice sessions to really digest, but clearly they were able to work their way through it. They came in with smiles on their faces, and they got the result they were looking for, predicated on their defence that generated the transition buckets. But when they got into their half court, their willingness for the extra pass, share it around, everyone getting a touch, and it looked a whole lot prettier.
The tail of the tape, Damon Lowry, is a very good one for the Sydney Kings tonight.
This is what's confusing about the Sydney Kings. They can give you that performance and they can get one. They can't do it sometimes twice in a row. But today I feel like it was the absolute blueprint. We look at the way they got to the free throw line. That's when you really sharing the ball. 20 of 26 from the free throw line. Won the rebound and count. They won everything, but it was the way they went about it. Took care of the ball. There's a special mention to the backcourt of Kendrick Davis and Dellavedova. 14 assists combined and just the 2 to 3 turnovers. That's incredible guard play. And I don't mean this with an ounce of disrespect. Matthew Dellavedova does not need to score for this team to win. They've got that much firepower. All you got to do is set the table.
And he did it. And he did it efficiently as well. 6 of 9 from the field. And it started off with those floaters. Once he saw a couple go in, and you know, we also have to put it in the context that this wasn't the best version of the Brisbane Bullets defense either.
I think that would be fair to say, yes.
And I think that these are the types of games you love to have to get yourself back on track. And sometimes it's a game like this can really flick a switch in you and turn it around. But this season has been so quirky. It's just so hard to predict. Who knows what's going to happen next?
Well, you take a look at this ladder and try and make sense of the season so far, with thanks to the wonderful people, of course, at Mitsubishi Motors who bring you the ladder, other than Melbourne United. So that's what we do know, is that Melbourne United are a very good team. They are undefeated. They host Sydney on Monday night. We know the 36ers are going to be right there as well, but, I mean, I don't know, try and make sense of the rest of it.
Well, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix only got the 2 losses. So one of those losses was to Adelaide in Adelaide. So let's see what happens.
The other was to Melbourne.
And exactly. So let's just see what happens when they get the payback game. But those guys you can almost trust to a serious degree. Some of those bottom teams, you know, Perth, Illawarra, New Zealand, you know, you just never know what you're going to get from week to week. But I'll tell you what, though, that's what makes for an exciting competition.
Well, it does, but we've seen some tough ones already, though, some real blowouts, which I was not expecting the volume of blowouts at the start of the season when you looked at the rosters. And I think what it does show, you can bring in some superstar talent, but if you don't get that chemistry and you don't get everyone on the same page, it's not going to matter. And there's some teams that are going through some really tough times right now, and with so many games, more games this year, you don't have a lot of time between games. We've got the FIBA break coming up, and that's maybe a chance for some of the teams to hit the reset button. Defrag.
Control-Alt-Delete.
And all that stuff, and start again.
Xavier Cooks did exactly that. He had a little defrag after last Sunday because he had a couple of quiet ones in a row. And he's had some struggles for the season, but tonight, I mean, the highlights will speak for themselves. This was the best version of Xavier Cooks.
Yeah, 24 points, 10 rebounds, just the 5 misses, but just his activity. He always plays the same. He always felt that it was up to his teammates to get a guy like this involved. And they did that, and they did it early. And once he gets in transition, his athleticism is not normal. I feel like he's an international mismatch. And those are spots right there on the floor that you want to get him the ball. On the elbow, one-on-one, when he only needs 1 dribble to get on the rim. Like I said, high activity for Zay. If the teammates can duplicate this, the Kings are well and truly back on track.
So what would Melbourne think watching what we saw tonight, Drew? They've got him in a couple of days and they scout as well as anyone. What would they think seeing Xavier Cooks in this sort of form?
Well, they would be thinking we'd rather get that version of the last 6 minutes against the Jack Jumpers, because they would look at that and see that they've got some problems to solve, and they've been really good at solving those problems this season. You're not going to have the same opportunities that is the Sydney Kings in the transition as you do against Melbourne United. They are elite at getting back. They build a wall, and their defensive transition is as good as anyone in the competition. So if you take away those transition options for the Sydney Kings, how do they function in the half court? And that's going to be something. We saw some real improved signs of that here this evening, but can they be consistent when teams take that away from them?
Kendrick Davis' game was an interesting one, Damon. I wouldn't have said that he jumped out of the gates. He's finished up with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. So it's a hamburger with a lot for Kendrick, but it seemed like tonight he was happy to let the game kind of come to him a little bit more.
And I much prefer this version of Kendrick Davis, this stat line right here. Like, yes, he can go out and get you 30 points, but sometimes if he does that, it might be at the detriment to the rest of the guys. I felt like Kendrick really understood his time, when to do it, when to get the ball on, and I like how the Kings got him involved late in shot clocks, because his natural instincts is to score the ball. So if you put him in a scoring situation the first 5 seconds, he's going to likely do that. But they were way more patient this time around. It looked like Kendrick had a lot of fun doing it, too.
And it may have been, too, his hand is heavily strapped. So you're thinking, I'm not quite there tonight, so I'm going to start looking. So it might have been a blessing just to take that aggressiveness, a touch off him. Now, he could still do his thing, and clearly he's still shooting the ball really well. But when you're impaired a little bit, it can sometimes calm you down to create for others, and it's looked a whole lot better. But again, I keep putting the asterisk next to all of this, because that was not an impressive defensive display by the Brisbane Bullets.
No, it was not. Now, we can't finish up tonight without sharing with you what happened at three-quarter time tonight here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. We see a lot of these where half-court shots to win a little bit of cash. Bottom of the net, from half-court, 10 grand. He's going to put it towards a house, which is awesome.
Never looked like missing. Good on him.
And no bank. No bank.
Not required.
Nothing but cotton.
Bank, not here.
Here. Love it. Because sometimes you see the lucky ones off the bank, but that was just pure.
Let's talk about what's coming up Sunday, because this is a really, really big day for all 4 teams involved here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Southeast Melbourne versus Perth. Phoenix win. They consolidate inside the top 4, as we saw. Wildcats need a W.
Wildcats do need a W, but the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix play a style from 1 to 10. They're going to pressure the ball. Can Perth withstand that and handle that pressure, Drewy?
And we get to see a new input, I believe, if David Duke's going to be Junior going to be playing. So how much he plays, who knows, in his first outing. But then we follow it up with this cracker. Illawarra Hawks need to bounce back. People might think this is crazy, but I think they'd be welcoming that they've got a game real quick to somehow try to erase the memory of that just spifflication that took place last night.
Either that or Bryce might have 100 tomorrow against Illawarra. And then don't forget, it's Melbourne and Sydney on Monday night as well. But the Sydney Kings, far too good tonight against the Brisbane Bullets here at the Entertainment Centre. On behalf of Damon Lowry, Andrew Gaze, Ariana Prather, and all of our team behind the scenes who make the magic happen, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Tomorrow is a massive day in round 7 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We'll catch you then. Have a great night.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.